Hi, welcome back to Mr. Mente's ELL classroom. We are going to continue talking about Chapter 3 of the Red Book today, which is a lot of talk about food. To complete this, you are going to need this page, page 21 from the textbook, which you can find in the description of the YouTube video. And this page, page 24 of the activity book, which you can find in the description of the YouTube video. This page you need to print. You do not need to print the other page, okay? Alright, so let's get started on the textbook page, page 21. Talking about buying food now. How much does a head of lettuce cost? Here we have, all of these mean 1 cent, 25 cents. So if you look at that, we say 1 cent. Look at that, we say 1 cent. Look at that, we say 1 cent. That's 3 ways to write the same thing. Same here, 25 cents. Okay. $1, $1, $10, $10. So we got a woman talking to a guy at a supermarket, and she says, how much does a head of lettuce cost? $1.95. Also, that's another way to write $1.95. $1.95? That's a lot of money. You're right. Lettuce is very expensive this week. And notice down here, we've got a little asterisk. Let's zoom in on that so you can read it. When you see this, this means $1.95. We can say $1.95 or $1.95. Those are 2 ways to say the same thing. Okay? So if you see this, those are your options. Okay? So over here we had talking about lettuce. It's expensive this week. By the way, I hope you're noticing how we're continuing to use the same words that we were using last week and that we were using in the other book. Remember, now we're talking about words like expensive and much. You know, these were vocabulary words that we specifically introduced in the course of these lessons earlier in the books, and I hope you remember them because we're continuing to use them, much the way English works in real life. All right. Next question. I think that's the same guy. How much does a pound of apples cost? $2.89. $2.89. $2.89? That's a lot of money. You're right. Apples are very expensive this week. $2.89 is $2.89. $2.89, same thing. Okay, so we've got an exercise down here, but I would actually like to save this for a little later. First, we're going to take out our activity sheet now. We're going to practice having conversations like this. Okay? So having had pretty much the same conversation, now we're going to use this box to fill in these blanks as we're shopping for food. So looking at number 1, how much does a blank of milk blank? What do you think goes there? If you remember what we just read through, how much does a, what do you think? Which one of these is an amount that we apply to liquids? I'll give you a hint. This is going to be a quart. A quart of milk. Quart is smaller than a gallon. In fact, I'm pretty sure quart stands for quarter of a gallon. I really should know that. But a quart of milk cost. How much does a quart of milk cost? Get it? Looks like you're going to use the same words. Quart of milk costs. Get it? Okay, so I gave you a lot of answers right there. We're going to have the same kind of conversation that we had on this page here. These same conversations. You're just going to be filling in the blanks. Okay? So, pause the video, fill in the blanks. Once the blanks are filled in, come back to me, and I will read the answers. Now is the time to pause the video. All right, did you pause the video? Good. All right, so let's go over here. So again, how much does a quart of milk cost? A quart of milk costs $2.33. $2.39. Sorry, 39. That's a lot of money. You're right. Milk is very expensive this week. Number 2. How much does a loaf of bread cost? A loaf of bread costs $1.29. Good. I'll take 6 loaves, please. Make sure you spelled it L-O-A-V-E-S. Okay? It changed. Over here, loaf was L-O-A-F. Down here, loaves is L-O-A-V-E-S. Okay? I'll take 6 loaves, please. 6 loaves? That's a lot of bread. I know, but bread is very cheap this week. Bread is not a good thing to buy a lot of, because bread goes bad. You know, you can buy a lot of soup. You know, soup lasts forever because it's in a can. But the bread, it gets all moldy and gross. You don't, so that's bad advice. You can't buy 6 loaves of bread. Sometimes you can put a loaf of bread in the freezer, and then it's not bad. If you put it in the freezer, it's not bad, but then you run out of room. These are Mr. Menta's life tips. Number 3. How much does a bag of apples cost? I'm assuming the word bag. What else could it be? Oh, pound. Pound? Yes, it has to be pound. Sorry, pound. Pound of apples. How much does a pound of apples cost? A pound of apples costs $3.65. $3.65, that's too much money. You're right. Apples are very expensive today. But bananas are very cheap. That's nice. But how can I make an apple pie with bananas? Oh, they're making a joke. Yeah, I don't think that was a funny joke. I hate it when textbooks try to be funny. They're never funny. I don't know. I guess it's nice that they try, but I mean, come on. Now me, I am a hilarious teacher. People always love my jokes. Right? Right? I've been alone in my basement for too long. I'm going crazy. All right. Anyway, the listening exercise here is pretty basic, so we're not going to bother with the listening exercise. That was the speaking exercise. Now, let's go back over here. And we're going to make some more conversations about these. Okay? For example, how much does a loaf of bread cost? A loaf of bread costs $1.95. Okay? You can just stop at those 2 sentences. That should be enough. Okay? But those 2 sentences, ask how much something costs and make up the cost. Okay? So write these down on your separate sheet of paper. The question, how much it costs, and then make up the answer. Don't forget, we're using our vocabulary words. So when you get to grapes, don't write, how much do grapes cost? Right? How much does a bunch of grapes cost? How much do a bunch of grapes cost? How much does a bunch of grapes cost? How much does a bag of sugar cost? How much does a half pound of Swiss cheese cost? Use your vocab words, okay? All right. Pause the video, write the answers. Did you pause the video and write the answers? Did you really? Okay. All right. How much does a bunch of carrots cost? A bunch of carrots cost $3.87. How much does a gallon of milk cost? A gallon of milk costs $1.95. How much do a pound of tomatoes, oranges? Tomatoes or oranges cost? A pound of tomatoes costs $6. How much does a bunch of grapes cost? A bunch of grapes costs $87.32. Hyperinflation has set in. That was a joke. How much does a bag of sugar cost? A bag of sugar costs $3. How much does a half pound of Swiss cheese cost? A half pound of Swiss cheese costs $1.50. How much does one of those really big cookies cost? I should use the vocab like I told you to. How much does a box of cookies cost? A box of cookies costs $4. Okay, good work. I'm making too many jokes, so that probably means it's time for me to take a break and let off some steam. So I'm going to take a break. Good work. I will see you in the next video.